Death experiences. It's been a very intriguing tour, and I've learned an awful lot about Australia on this tour, stuff I didn't know. I've kind of got addicted to those late-night parliamentary sessions, you know the ones? There's constant referencing to Mr. Speaker. Why do they do that? Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I wonder, Mr. Speaker, if the right honourable member, Mr. Speaker, is it a chance to read the report, Mr. Speaker? Which I have in my hand, Mr. Speaker. The report from the Australian... No, the Australian Prune Growers Association, Mr. Speaker. No question. Mr. Speaker, the report which clearly states that Australian prune production, Mr. Speaker, will decrease by, and I quote, some 20%, Mr. Speaker, some 20%, Mr. Speaker. And all his mates on his side of the house go... What is that? They're not saying anything. I've turned up the TV as loud as it goes. They're just going... The other guy gets up. I haven't a chance to read the report. I'd have appreciated it if when he'd put it on my desk, he'd also returned my stapler, Mr. Speaker. So petty, isn't it? It's great fun, though. Do you know my favourite parliament in the world? If you ever get the chance to see the Italian parliament in session, the Italians have had, I think, 38 governments since the end of the Second World War. And it's no wonder, because it gets very violent, the parliament. One guy will stand up to ask the government a question, right? What does the government plan to do about investment in Italy next year? And the minister will get up, fuck you, fuck investment. Huh? You want to invest? Invest in this, huh? How about I invest in your mother? My mother? I'll kill you. I tell you, I'll kill you. It's a guy being held back, by the way. Not an Italian river dance politician. Oh, yeah. Do you know it's interesting how Italian men are viewed in the rest of the world. When you go to America and here in Australia, Italian men are seen as very romantic men. Seen as, you know, the guys that turn up outside your door, the rose in the mouth, bottle of red wine, hair slicked back, buongiorno. And all you, oh, hello. I don't know if we're going to do that anymore. So much missed flirting gesture. But they're not. I went to Italy last year. I was in Rome, and Italian men have the strangest courtship rituals. They're almost quite sleazy. They'll stand outside the fountains, and if a good-looking woman walks by at night, they Yes, all the Italian men in my head seem to have evolved from R2-D2. Which is ironic, because when English men are chatting people up, they're more like C-3PO, aren't they? Oh, marvellous, I say. Wonderful idea, yes, I say. A dance? How wonderful. Us Scots are more like Chewbacca. And that's the women I'm talking about. No, the most romantic men of Europe are the French, for God's sake. They just ooze romance out of every pore. They love it. When you meet a French couple, ask them how they met. They've always got the most romantic story, you know. If you meet a French couple, I keep saying if you meet a French, when you meet a French couple, you're not that fucking isolated here, are you? What will they look like, Danny? Will they come by boat? When you meet a French couple, Ask them how they met. They've always got these wonderful romantic stories. It's like a film script. Yeah. We were both in a small bookshop in the Montmartre region of Paris. We both reached for the same book at the same time. I said, "Oh," she said, "Ah." And our hands touched. I said, "I see you are a fan of Renoir." She said, "Yes, I am." I said, "Then have the book. It is your book. You can take it because you have such beautiful eyes and beautiful hair and beautiful body." And she took the book and she walked out of the bookshop. And she turned and she smiled. And she left and I thought, what? Well, I'm crazy. Well, that was the woman of my dreams and now she has gone. What, am I crazy? I must follow the girl, so I ran out of the bookshop. That's how we run in France when we are infatuated. I ran into the street. Her perfume lingered in the air. I could not find her. Où est la femme? I'm screaming. Où est la femme? Je ne sais pas, je ne sais pas. There was a lot of Australian politicians in Paris that day. And I could not find her. I could not find the girl. I'm heartbroken. As opposed to heartbroken, I've broken art. And I go to the train station. I'm going to throw myself in front of the train. And then I see her on the train, pulling away from the station. She is not pulling the train. The train is pulling away, but she is on the train, and I bang on the compartment. I say, "J'adore, j'adore," and she sees me, and she runs to the back of the train. And will she make it? And and she jumps, and I caught her. Something like that. The point is, French couples always have very romantic stories about how they met. English men don't have romantic stories about how they met their wife, do they? I were in a nightclub in Stockport. I fell into her tits and she threw up in me face. Oh, we're champion. Oh, aye. I bought her a bag of chips and shagged her up against factory wall. Oh, aye. Hey, we've been together 20 long years. Oh, aye. But no, I've learned an awful lot about Australia on this visit, to get back to the point. Lots of things, cultural things. Do you know what? And this is absolutely true. I didn't realise until this visit that your national anthem is not Waltzing Matilda. Didn't know. I just found out. It's Advance Australia Fair. Sounds like a mortgage plan. You should have Waltzing Matilda. It's more ballady and Australian, and it makes you think of Australia when you hear that banjo and the once a jolly swag man camped down by the billabong. Oh, it's great. I'm sure it's the second verse you have a problem with, eh? Down came the jumbuck. That's a sheep. Fucking half of you didn't know that. Oh, yeah, of course it is, Mike. Of course it is. Down came the jumbuck to drink from the water hole. It's a lake. Up jumped the swag man and grabbed him with glee. Glee? That's interesting. I've never grabbed a prospective meal with glee before. All I know is in the third verse, he drowns himself. You don't commit suicide if you've only been caught stealing a sheep. Just giving you the facts. No, you should have Waltzing Matilda, though. It's a nicer national anthem. It's more ballady and passionate, and it makes you think of Australia. Or the Scottish national anthem is very passionate. It's the flower of Scotland, and it tells a story of Robert the Bruce's famous victory at the Battle of Bannockburn. Oh, flower of Scotland, when will we see your like again? And it's the only national anthem in the world that makes provision for people with Tourette's, which is also quite nice. In the chorus, and stood against them. Against her! Proud Edwards